If you've ever planted ginger and ended up with thin, stringy roots instead of thick, juicy rhizomes, you're not alone. Ginger doesn't fail because it's difficult. It fails because most people plant it like a root crop, when in reality, ginger behaves more like a forest plant. Get this one step wrong, and the plant survives but never truly thrives. Get it right, and the soil rewards you with large, aromatic ginger that multiplies generously beneath the surface. Before you plant another piece of ginger, you need to understand this one overlooked principle that changes everything. Why most ginger plants stay small. Ginger grows underground, but it does not behave like potatoes or carrots. Its rhizomes expand horizontally, slowly, and only when conditions feel safe. In nature, ginger evolved under tree canopies where soil stays loose, moist, and biologically active. When planted into compacted soil, dry beds, or nutrient-poor ground, the plant focuses on survival instead of expansion. You get leaves above ground, but the underground growth remains minimal. The mistake most gardeners make is treating ginger like a sun-loving crop that just needs water and time. Ginger needs something deeper than that. It needs living soil. The one thing ginger must have before planting, the single most important step before planting ginger, is preparing a biologically active loose-growing layer that stays moist without becoming waterlogged. Ginger responds explosively when planted into soil rich in organic matter that is already breaking down. This is why compost alone is not enough. Ginger prefers soil where microbes are already feeding, fungi are active, and organic material is in mid-decomposition. That biological activity signals safety to the plant and triggers rhizome expansion. Before planting, the soil should be amended with well-decomposed compost mixed with fresh organic material such as chopped leaves, aged manure, or green plant matter. The goal is not fertilizer. The goal is microbial life. The pre-plant ginger soak that boosts growth. Before ginger ever touches the soil, there is a simple preparation step that dramatically improves sprouting and final yield. Store-bought ginger is often treated to delay sprouting. Soaking removes inhibitors and wakes the rhizome. So you'll want to soak ginger pieces for 8 to 12 hours in clean water. For an added boost, just dissolve 1 teaspoon of unsulfured molasses into 1 liter of water. Molasses actually feeds beneficial microbes and provides trace minerals that, stimulate early root activity. After soaking, allow the ginger to air dry for 1 to 2 hours before planting. This simple step helps prevent rot and encourages strong bud activation. Let's talk about how deep and how wide to plant for maximum size. Depth, honestly, matters more than spacing when it comes to ginger. Planting too deep can suffocate growth, while planting too shallow dries out the rhizome. The ideal depth is 3 to 5 centimeters below the soil surface. Be sure to place the ginger horizontally with the growth buds facing upward. Spacing should allow for lateral expansion, not vertical competition. Leave at least 20 to 25 centimeters between plants so each rhizome has plenty of room to spread. Once planted, lightly firm the soil, but, never compact it. Ginger expands best in soil that can be pushed aside easily by growing rhizomes. So, let's talk about the mulch mistake that limits ginger harvests. Many gardeners, mulch ginger heavily with wood chips or bark, thinking that more mulch equals more moisture. But, honestly, this often backfires. Thick, carbon-heavy mulch slows microbial activity and ties up nitrogen near the surface. Ginger actually prefers a soft, nitrogen-rich cover that breaks down quickly. The best mulch for ginger is, fresh green material. Things like chopped leaves, grass clippings that have dried for one day, or cut cover crops all work exceptionally well. Apply a layer about 5 centimeters thick and refresh it lightly every few weeks. This creates a living surface layer that feeds microbes and keeps the soil evenly moist. So, let's talk about watering ginger the right way. Ginger really loves moisture, but it absolutely hates stagnation. Inconsistent watering is actually one of the main reasons ginger ends up producing small rhizomes. The soil should never fully dry out, but at the same time, it should also never feel muddy. Deep, gentle watering 2 to 3 times per week is far better than daily shallow watering. And if rainfall is scarce, you should aim for about 15 to 20 litres of water per square metre per week, divided across your watering sessions. Always water at soil level, never over the leaves. This simple step actually reduces disease and keeps microbial life active where it matters most. So here's the secret feeding method for achieving larger rhizomes. Rather than using synthetic fertilizer on your ginger, you'll want to focus on feeding the soil around it instead. About every 3 weeks, just apply a diluted microbial feed. This really encourages that underground expansion you're looking for. To make your own microbial feed, simply mix 1 tablespoon of unsulfured molasses into 5 liters of water, then water the soil around the base of the plant. Try not to pour it directly on the stem. This approach feeds the beneficial bacteria and fungi, which in turn help unlock nutrients already present in the soil. Within just a few weeks, you'll notice the plant responding by thickening its stems and expanding those rhizomes below ground. As the plant continues to mature, you can reduce how often you feed it and just let the rhizomes firm up naturally. So, why does partial shade actually produce bigger ginger? Well, full sun tends to force ginger into survival mode, which isn't ideal. In nature, ginger usually grows under broken light, where the temperatures stay moderate. By providing partial shade, especially during the hottest hours of the day, you can significantly improve the size of the rhizomes. If you're planting ginger in open ground, it really benefits from morning sun and afternoon shade. And, if you're growing it in containers, it's best to position the plants where they receive filtered light. Lower stress above ground actually translates into more energy being stored below ground. It's important to know when to stop watering for better harvest quality. As ginger approaches maturity, usually 8 to 10 months after planting, leaf growth begins to slow. This is the signal to reduce watering. Gradually cutting back moisture allows the rhizomes to harden, concentrate flavor, and store better after harvest. When leaves begin to yellow naturally, you should stop watering entirely. Then, wait about 1 to 2 weeks and harvest carefully by loosening the soil rather than pulling forcefully. Properly grown ginger should feel heavy, firm, and, richly aromatic. Why does ginger keep giving when treated right? Well, one of ginger's greatest strengths is its ability to multiply. If harvested carefully and replanted with healthy soil preparation, ginger actually improves year after year. Each cycle builds better soil structure, more microbial life, and honestly stronger plants. Ginger is not just a crop, it is a soil builder when managed correctly. So, here are some closing thoughts for nature's blueprint gardeners. Ginger rewards patience and understanding. When you stop forcing it and start supporting the soil it depends on, everything really changes. Bigger rhizomes, stronger plants, and richer harvests become the norm, not the exception. Gardening becomes less about effort and more about alignment with nature's design. If this guide helped you see ginger differently, go ahead and subscribe to Nature's Blueprint for more timeless growing wisdom. Share this video with a fellow gardener who struggles with ginger and let nature do the heavy lifting beneath the soil.